Alright, we're back for another video, and today's a desk job because I'm exhausted. I can't go outside and I don't really want to do work on the Land Rovers. So we're doing something Land Rover related. A little while ago somebody donated one of these Nighthawk M1 mobile routers to me. Now why that's important is in the top of the 6-wheel drive Land Rover we have one of these guys that is operating as a 4G modem. These are basically just a little single board computer with an NVMe slot for the interface card, and I'm interested because I have long range antennas. I'm interested to see if there's any way I can adapt a long range antenna to this. So my intention is to open this up and see what's going on inside it, and maybe there's a possibility of external antennas. Okay, so with anything like this you sit here and stare at it for a little bit, and I saw these two little bits that sort of suggest maybe they should push and do that with it. So that, the back came off quite nicely. Surprisingly, these have an interchangeable battery, which is kind of nice. And they have a SIM card slot. By the way, they put a 5 amp hour battery in these things, which is pretty serious capacity. That's a chunk of a battery and a half. Alright, so we've taken all the screws out, stuck them on a magnet. So the screws are magnetic. They're all the same. We've removed all of the screws around here, and it looks like this outer piece and this inner molding are one and the same. So now the screws are out, we're going to work around the top here, see if we can pop this top cover off. Okay, so we've got it apart. This piece comes out. Here's our circuit board. There's a bunch of contacts in here for different things. The screen that has a couple of touch buttons on here. Excuse the PC21 overhead. This screen has a little connector that pops onto the board. And it looks like, I see something in here. Firstly, I see little connectors for antennas, but I see a couple down here underneath the feet. I see a couple of connectors. I thought these were rubber feet. These are actually covers for external antennas. So we can run external antennas on it. Alright, so I found I can get TS9 to SMA female connectors, and we're doing a factory reset because the password didn't work. So this could be an option. Okay, shockingly, I managed to find some TS9 adapters, and they go to the fairly common SMA female. However, I've got FMEs on my connectors, on my antennas. So I got a couple of adapters. All up, here's about $70 worth of stuff. I probably could have got it for considerably cheaper out of China, but I'm impatient and I didn't want to wait an entire month. Probably going to need to use this side of Christmas, and I didn't want that to happen on the other side of Christmas. Let's de-virginize these packets and make sure things actually fit together. Alright. It does. Now, if you're wondering about signal loss between adapters, I share that concern. However, this is going to have just straight off the board to a TS9 and through these two adapters. However, this internally has a connector on the board, a pigtail to this connector, another connector, and then all of this stuff. We're probably losing more signal off this. So what I am going to do first is shut this down, which I think is a push and hold on the power button. I see the red flashy thing. SIM not installed. I know. I want it to shut down. There we go. That looks like it shut down. Because we don't want the transmitters overdriving once they're connected to the antenna connections. Which should plug in like so. Yep. Don't go in very deep. It is going to be a challenge, I think, in the vibration environment to deal with all this vibration. That may eventually snap it off the board. Okay, we have our old modem, or router, whatever you want to call it. This could potentially be a step backwards. I don't know. This one does have a GPS connector inside too, but it's not really relevant for what we're doing. Now we need to get the SIM card out of this. I think this one pushes it out. There we go. There's our SIM card. Alright, we have SIM card in and all powered up. We're connected to the console. We are seeing some signal in here. Not very much though. So hopefully we can get a connection soon. Alright, after a few restarts and putting the SD card in the correct way, we have data now. And that's good. Okay, so I won't show you personal details on the screen at the moment, like my cell ID and stuff like that. But we are getting our RSRP as minus 115 dBm, and our RSQ is minus 18. So, and that's on the LTE B3 band. So let's go and plug this into external antennas and see if that improves any. Okay, so we plugged in new antennas, and our RSRP is now 101 dBm, and our RSQ is minus 13. So yeah, minus 103 dBm to minus 115. LTE B7 network. We changed channel number. We were downloading at about 6.7 megabit. Let's see what we get now. Okay, we've bumped up to about 31 megabit. 32 megabit. There's definitely a difference in that download speed, and it's rock solid now. Okay, so I guess next thing is I'll either 3D print or laser cut a case for it. I do have to get my 3D printer up and running at some point, but I also have to finish a laser cutting job. So I might make a laser cut one, might be a bit more sturdy, and I can cut some nice little slots in here to hold these things and stop them slopping around, make some strain relief. And that hopefully should be good. Alright, so I've been busy and I've been making this little case here to go vehicle mount or wall mount. And I'm going to put a regulator and some other stuff in here, but it does fit, and it's first time. We've got a little bit to do. Heat dissipation may be a problem, but there's no real heat sink in this thing anyway. The circuit board is pressed right up against a plastic shield, so don't think it's really worrying about that. Anyway, I have to find the right length of screws to make all this work. Now, one of the key design features here is to hold these connectors from moving around too much. I can probably epoxy them in later anyway. But once we sandwich everything together, that should strain relief that very nicely and not allow these to move too much. They're very flimsy. We may even get a Cat 6 cable in here. We'll definitely be able to get USB in there. Okay, I've been mucking around and we have ourselves a single unit with strain relief for the antennas, the 5-volt regulator to keep it charged. These are all glued down. We'll do something about strain relief on these at some point soon. But otherwise, this should work. These two screw holes are complete guesstimates as to where they should be. I'm not sure if this is going to overheat in here or not, but certainly more robust and dust resistant than it was before. So naturally, it's raining and windy the day I want to test this. What we're going to do, we're not going to hook it up to charging, but we are going to hook it up under battery power, see what sort of signal we get. We've got to get up in there to get to it. Alright, we are up in the roof box, and we have the bracket from the old system. This antenna can... Oh, okay. So I'm going to have to fix that at the very least. This is where we do want to mount it, but for now it's going to sit right here, and we're going to attach to our 4G modems, or 4G antennas. So there's that one. Then we want this one, and this one. We will clean up and organise the wiring and stuff later. So there we go. We can shove a finger in here and fire it up. Alright, we're back inside, we're hooked up to Wi-Fi, and we have minus 108 dBm, or dBm. And the RSRQ is minus 16, so all pretty good. The quality is 45 dBm. That's not bad for the two antennas. Let's do a speed test. Alright, 33 megabit down. We could do better, but the hardware is also a little bit slower. But nice rock steady. I'm trying to hide my IP address off the bottom here. Well, nearly 40 meg. That's not too bad. What's the upload? Ah. Alright, so we finally got there. 44 average down, 9 up. Not great, but certainly better than the other modem that used to give me about 5 or 6. So a little bit faster and probably a bit more stable. Okay, so reusing the existing mounting holes, not an option. So we're going to use these ones and probably put one right down the bottom there. Alright, we're back in the roof box. I have power connections up, which has caused it to fire up. I've done opposing genders here so I can't get them backwards. Heat shrink's going to go over them. We're almost there. We're going to strip out all these extra cables, going to come out. And some of these coaxes are not looking good. They've been a bit damaged. We may trim them and fit new FMEs to them. We'll do that later. Okay, so I've ripped out a lot of the unnecessary cables and turfed them over the side here. Now I do feel some pinch points and stuff in these, so yeah, we do definitely need to shorten them. That's from this antenna here, that one over there. We might get better SWR if we do that. Whilst I do know how to do them, I really don't like doing FME cables. I may pay somebody to do that, somebody with a ladder, and I'll reroute these cables a bit better. But for now, we've got pretty reasonable signal, and I probably want to get some zip ties, put some cable straps in and zip these down so they don't vibrate everywhere. But for now, this will work to test the principle, and hopefully this works better than the other one. Okay, with that, things are running acceptably. We've still got a few things to do, which is going to take some time. I've got to wait till I've got more money. My bills are paid, but I don't have much money now, so we're going to have to sit on our hands and wait for that. And so when we do that, we'll get some more FME connectors, we'll shorten up those cables, we'll find if there's any squashes, whatever. But it seems to be, I'm getting about 50 dBm at the moment in the signal to noise ratio department, which is pretty good. I'd say it's using those antennas. So from here, we're going to move on. We will revisit this again, discuss in the comments below, I guess, if you've got any questions or you want me to do more about it. And we'll move on and see what else comes up as a video. Hope it was fun. We'll see you because I'm always busy.